Hi, and welcome back to Men's World Today. Mental health awareness has come a long way in the last 4 years. We have to admit, particularly for men, it's come a long way. Even in amongst all this exposure we think we've had, it's still not sexy for men to talk about mental health. I mean, we just don't want to talk about it. But yet, the biggest killer of men under 50 is suicide. And suicide claims more lives than we care to admit. In America, 6 million men suffer from depression each year. And yet less than 10% of these people will seek help. Why is it that so many of us men find it difficult to seek treatment for mental health? I think a lot of the answer lies within the misconceptions and the pressures ingrained on us by our society. We still see depression as a sign of weakness. It doesn't quite fit in with the Spartan or the macho image. I mean, we still, as guys, struggle to pick the phone up to call a friend and just vent or talk about our problems. I know this because I've done it. I've been through it. And the difficult part is, if you haven't spoken to someone for a while, you don't want to just pick up the phone and call them and just start talking about your problems. But I think we men find it more of a problem, of a hindrance to just talk to our friends about it. Women, it's like second nature. They do that all the time. I will repeat the point. 6 million men in America face depression, are affected by depression every year, and less than 10% of these people get help. Now, one of the things that came out in the conversation today I was having, we're always taught, or we're always under pressure to be strong and never show a sign of weakness, whilst we're suffering inside. But also, it's not just about the stigma that society puts on us. There is this thing about masculinity. There is a school of thought. Now, look, people throw around that word toxic masculinity. I'm not going to go into that because I'm not an expert on it. But what I would say is, there's a school of thought around masculinity that pushes the idea that a man must conform to a certain stereotype of strength and stoicism. Teaching men to suppress their emotions and to tough it out, even when we're hurting inside, this sort of thinking, I personally think, is outdated. Of course, we need to be able to control our emotions. But there comes a point where enough is enough. We need to change the conversation around mental health, and make it so that it's not a sign of weakness to seek help, but rather a sign of strength. Do you see, the whole thing about seeking help is so normalized in the business and professional world. By that, what I mean is, we've all heard of mentors. We've all seen the program, The Apprentice, Dragon's Den. One of the things that the winners benefit from is the fact that they can use the dragons, or in the case of The Apprentice, Lord Sugar and his cohort, as mentors. These are the people you go to when you don't know how to do something, when you're struggling with something, when you have when you come up against a block. So it's okay to do that in a professional setting, but we can't do this in our personal or mental health. I urge you, if you've seen this, as a brotherhood of men, we need to help to break this silence. If you know someone or you care about someone who you think might be suffering, the signs are always there. If you know someone who's suddenly putting weight on, their work or quality of work is dropping, they are suddenly withdrawing and from things they used to enjoy, they're a bit, the mood is always low, they're always sick, that potentially is a sign of outside intervention is required. And let's start supporting each other, because together we can overcome these things easy. And if you've actually have overcome your own period of mental health, do share the stories. Encourage people in your circles whom you think might be suffering to go and ask for help, seek help. Sometimes people might feel comfortable talking to a stranger. That's fine. Just encourage them to go that route. They might feel comfortable talking to you. Encourage them to talk to you. Sometimes it's an insignificant intervention you might think on your part might actually end up saving someone's life. And that, in a nutshell, is what Men's World is all about. So, if you have found it helpful, fantastic. Do share it. And until next time, have a nice day.